Okay, just imagine you get an invitation in the mail, and it's for the biggest, coolest, most amazing party in the entire universe. I mean, you'd be so excited, right? You'd get ready, you'd tell all your friends, you would definitely go. Well, today, we're going to dig into a story about an invitation just like that.
The story we're exploring today is actually a parable told by Jesus himself. It's called the parable of the wedding party. And yeah, it's about a massive celebration, but it's also about something way deeper. So let's dive in.
So, picture this. The story kicks off with a king who is just bursting with excitement. He's planning the most spectacular wedding party ever for his son. We're talking the best food, the best music. Everything is going to be absolutely perfect. This is a huge deal. So, our first section is all about the king's amazing party. He's planned everything down to the last detail. But, getting the guests to actually show up, that turns out to be a much bigger problem than he ever expected. Let's see how this all plays out. The king sends out these really special, top-tier invitations to all his most important friends. And what do? You'll never believe it. They totally blow him off. Some of them make up these really lame excuses, and others are just flat-out rude. It's like they treated this incredible invitation like it was just junk mail.
Now, what's really fascinating is what the king does next. He doesn't just give up. So first, his guests just brush him off. So the king tries again. He sends his servants back out to say, "Hey, the food's ready, come on over." But this time, the guests are even worse. They're actually cruel to the servants. So the king, who is determined to have a full house for his son's wedding, comes up with a whole new plan. He tells his servants, forget them. Go out into the streets and invite absolutely everyone you can find.
And that leads us right into our second section. Because those first guests said no, the whole invitation changed. It wasn't just for the fancy and important people anymore. This became a really special invitation, one that was now open to everybody.
And they actually did it. The servants went out and brought in all kinds of people. People the story calls both bad and good. It was this wild, mixed crowd. But you know what? It didn't matter. The wedding hall was finally packed with guests, and the party could finally start. All right, so for part 3, the one-rule party. The hall is full, the music is playing, but this is where the story takes a really surprising turn. Because even with this wide-open invitation, it turns out there was one super important rule for being a guest at this party. So the king walks in to greet everybody, and he's just beaming, so happy to see the room totally full. But as he's looking around, his eyes land on one guy, and something is just not right. This one guest stands out from everyone else, and not in a good way. The king walks right up to him and asks this really simple, direct question. Friend, how did you get in here without a wedding garment? You can just imagine the whole party going silent. All eyes are on this one guy. And the man, he doesn't say a word. He's totally speechless. Why? Because he has absolutely no excuse. Deep down, he knew he had broken the one really important rule of the party. Now you might be thinking, whoa, hold on a second. Why is the king so bent out of shape about an outfit? I mean, he just invited a bunch of random people off the street. They probably didn't have fancy clothes. It seems a little unfair, doesn't it? Well, that's the big puzzle we need to solve.
And that brings us perfectly into section 4, where we're going to answer that exact question. What is this garment all about? Let's unlock the symbol here and figure out why this one piece of clothing was such a huge deal.
Okay, so here's the secret. The wedding garment isn't really about clothes at all. It's a symbol. It represents the pure, perfect character of Jesus, all of his goodness, his kindness, his love. And here's the most important part. The garment was a totally free gift from the king to every single guest who walked in the door.
See, here's how it worked. When a guest arrived, they were offered this beautiful garment to wear. Putting it on was your way of saying, thank you, I respect you, and I'm so grateful for this incredible invitation. The man without the garment hadn't been forgotten. He had actually refused the king's gift. He basically said, thanks but no thanks. My own clothes are good enough.
So now, let's make this personal in section 5, because this isn't just some old story. That garment is a symbol for something that we are all offered today. A gift that you wear not just on your body, but in your heart.
This comparison chart really breaks it down perfectly. On one side, you've got our own clothes. Think of them like the fig leaves Adam and Eve tried to use.
That's us, trying to be good all on our own, trying to cover up our own mistakes. And honestly, it never really works. But on the other side, you have the king's gift, this amazing robe of goodness from God. That's about accepting his help and his love, which is the only thing that actually makes us look perfect in his eyes.
So what does it mean for us to put on this garment today? Well, it means choosing to live his way. We start to want what he wants, to think like he thinks. It's a choice to live a life of love, just like he did.
And this isn't just an idea, it's about our actions. Wearing the garment looks like being kind, even when it's really hard. It's telling the truth. It's helping someone without even being asked. It's forgiving someone who hurt you. It's about loving people the way God does.
And this brings us to our final and maybe most important section, your daily choice. Because accepting this amazing gift from the king isn't just a one-time thing. It's actually a decision we get to make every single day.
There is only one thing that makes us ready for the king's party. Not our own goodness, not how many good things we try to do on our own, just one. The beautiful covering of goodness that Christ himself gives us.
That man from the story, he represents someone who wants all the benefits of being at the party, all the blessings and the fun, but doesn't want to be transformed. They don't want to change their heart or their character. They refuse the one gift that truly makes them fit to be there.
And that's why this is all so important, right here, right now. This life is our opportunity. It's our one and only chance to say yes to the king's gift, to put on that robe of his goodness, and to become the kind of person who's ready for his forever family.
So as we wrap up, here's something to think about. How can you choose to wear this amazing gift today? What is one choice you can make? One act of kindness, one moment of telling the truth, one word of forgiveness that shows you are joyfully wearing the robe that the king has given you.